So hello everyone, welcome back to IntelliSkills. In today's video, we are going to talk about nested loops in Java. Before that, I would please request you to like this video and subscribe to IntelliSkills if you haven't yet done. And with this, let us begin. So now, I want to print this figure. Okay, I want to print this star figure. This is called a solid rectangle. Okay, I want to print this. So at first let us try printing only one star. Okay, we are printing one star and make sure to give a space. Okay, now if you run the program, you can see only one star is printed. Over here you can see there are 4 stars in this line. How will I print 4 stars? You can write them manually like this. But if there are more stars needed in that line, in this line there is only 4 stars, but what if there were 100? So I think you get what I'm trying to say. We can use a for loop to run this star thing 4 times. Okay, how to do that? So we just pass this thing over here, and what will be our condition? Int I is equal to 1, I less than equal to 4. Yes, because we want to print it 4 times, and I plus plus. If you run the program, okay, so before running the program we have to remove the ln because we want to print it in one single line, right? So if you run the program, yes, this is the 4 stars printed in one line. Now what do we have over here? Can you see? The 4 stars only printed, but 4 times. The 4 stars are printed in one line, but they're printed 4 different times, okay, in new lines. So see, first we executed the print statement 4 times. Now we have to execute this for block 4 times. How to do that? For int I is equal to 0, I less than equal to 4, and I plus plus. And then here you have your first curly bracket, and over here you have your second curly bracket. And okay, so you can't have 2 i's, so I'll just change this to j. Okay, now is it okay? Are you being able to understand this? First we wrote this 4 times. Now we are writing this for block 4 times to repeat that 4 times star that we printed. Now if you run the program, you can see all the stars are getting printed in one line. So what do I want? After this for block is done, after the 4 stars are printed in one line, I want to execute a new line so that the next iteration happens from a new line. So if you run the program, now you can see the 4 stars are printed. Why there are 5 rows? Okay, sorry, J should start from 1 and then it should run up to 4. If you run the program, now you can see we have got the pattern that we were wanting. 4 rows, 4 columns, and like this we have done it. So what is this type of for loop thing called? This is called a nested loop. Okay, this is called a nested for, but a nested loop can have a for and a while inside a for. Okay, a do while inside a for. So like this also it can happen, but for loop was the easiest loop to be used. That is why we used for loop here. Okay, if you set a debug point here and if you try to debug the code, so just see what is happening. At first j is 1. Okay, it checks the condition that j less than equal to 4. Yes, so it enters the loop. Now there is a new for, there is the inner for loop. We have just checked the outer for loop. Now there is the inner for loop. Okay, now it checks the inner for loop. I is equal to 1. Yes, it enters the loop because 1 less than equal to 4. Okay, now it does whatever is there inside the for loop. It prints a star. Okay, now it again goes to the top after increment in I, so I becomes 2 and it enters the loop because 2 less than equal to 4. Okay, now it again prints a star. Now I will become 3 after incrementing, and 3 less than equal to 4, so it will enter the loop. Okay, now it again prints another star, and now I will become 4 after incrementing, and it will check 4 less than equal to 4. Yes, so I becomes 4. Now the loop like it prints another star, and now I will become 5 now. Now it checks 5 less than equal to 4. Absolutely not. So it comes out of the inner loop and it comes to the outer loop, and now it prints like it goes to the new line. Now you can see, now j was 1, now j will become 2 after incrementing, and it enters the loop. Now again the i's iteration starts. So what is happening? I becomes 1, star is printed. I becomes 2, star is printed. I becomes 3, star is printed. I becomes 4, star is printed. I becomes 5, it comes out of the loop. It again goes to a new line. Now j will become 3 again. Okay, and now again this I loop will be executed. I becomes 1, prints star. I becomes 2, prints star. I becomes 3, prints star. I becomes 4, prints star. And now I becomes 5, comes out of the loop, inner loop, and then in the outer loop a new line is again it changes the line. Now j will become 4. Now I becomes 1, print star. I becomes 2, print star. I becomes 3, print star. I becomes 4, print star. I becomes 5. Now it again goes to a new line. Now it again comes to the outer loop. Now j will become 5, but it will not enter the loop because 5 less than equal to 4 is false. Okay, this is how the loop is executed. This is called the nested loop. Now you can have another loop inside this. We will work with only 2 loops. Okay, now we will solve another problem. Now we have the second pattern, and it looks somewhat like this. This is a hollow rectangle, or in this case it is a hollow square actually. So what is happening? You can see we are printing the star only at the boundaries, right? And the middle part, it is empty. That means it will have spaces. Okay, now see, when do we know that when to print the star, when to print the star and when to print spaces? How do we know that? Now see, I is going to be our outer loop. Okay, outer loop is going to be your I loop, and j is going to be your inner loop. That means the outer loop will operate the rows and the inner loop will operate the columns. So what is your row here? This is your row 1, this is your row 2, this is your row 3, and this is your row 4, right? These are the rows. Got it? And what are your columns? These will be your columns. Okay, this is your row area. Got it? And this is your column area. So this is your column 1, this is your column 2, this is your column 3, and this is your column 4. Okay, I loop is going to operate the rows, right? So see, you can just comprehend what I'm saying. When I is 1, okay, we are printing the stars, all the stars. I is 4, okay, then we are printing all the stars. Okay, got it? When j is 1, then we are printing all the stars. When j is 4, then we are printing the stars. And else we are printing the spaces. Okay, so basically only when I is 1 and I is 4, you are printing the stars, and only when j is 1 and j is 4, you are printing all the stars. I hope you are getting it. Okay, so can we write it? Yes, we have to write it. Just see what I am writing. For int I is equal to 1, I less than equal to 4. Okay, because there were 4 rows, and I plus plus. Just see, there were 4 rows. Okay, these are the 4 rows. That is why we have said that I less than equal to 4. So for j is equal to 1, j less than equal to 4, j plus plus. Okay, so we have int j over here. Okay, and now we cannot just like print the stars like this. If you run the program, okay, print needs to go. If you run the program, then you can see it's a very haphazard way. Okay, all right, but what was her condition? If I equal to 1 or I equal to 4 or j equal to 1 or j equal to 4, then we are going to print the stars. Else what we are going to print? Spaces. We are going to print spaces for else. Got it? This was just the program. When the row was 1, we are printing the stars. When the row was 4, we are printing the stars. And when the column was, that means j was 1, we are printing the stars. And when j is 4, then also we are printing the stars, right? And else what we are going to do? Print the space. Okay, at the end of this, in the outer loop, you have to just move to a new line after every iteration. And oh sorry, I'm making so many mistakes. Okay, in the outer loop you have to like give a new line, and here you have to omit this println. Here also you have to omit this ln. And if you run the program now, you can see on running the program that it looks a little horrible. So what we can do, we can add a space after the star, and we can add a space, like 2 spaces over here. Okay, and if you run the program, you can see now it is beautifully printed. Okay, got it? Scanner sc equal to new scanner system.in, and you know what, you can just take your own input of the rows and columns. So what you can do, int row is equal to sc.nextInt, and int col is equal to sc.nextInt. Okay, this way you're taking the inputs of the rows and columns. If you don't want to run it up to 4, and we will run it up to row, and here we have to run j up to col. We have run I up to row and j up to column, but here in the condition we are checking I equal to 1 or not. Good. And I equal to 4 or not. But here it should not be 4. I should be checked up to the row number, like the last row number. Here what you did is, here the last row number was 4, so you checked if I equal to 4. But here the last row number will be whatever the row input is given, and for j also you need to check it up to the column. Okay, and if you run the program now, you can see it asks for the input. So for rows I can give 3, for the columns I can give 5, and here you can see our beautiful rectangle, hollow rectangle is printed like this. Got it? Hope you understood. So this is our next pattern. You have to print like a pyramid. Okay, now again you have to divide it into like rows and columns kind of thing. Here you again have I and j. I and j. I is the outer loop which operates the rows. J is the inner loop which operates the columns. Now what are the rows here? This is the row portion and this is the columns. Okay, first of all, here I will be equal to 1, here I will be equal to 2, here I will be equal to like 3, and here I will be equal to, where is 4? How to write 4? Yes, this is 4. Here j is going to be 1, here j is going to be 2, here j is going to be 3, and here j is going to be 4. Got it? Now can you notice one thing? When I is 1, you are printing 1 star. When I is 2, you are printing 2 stars. When I is 3, you are printing 3 stars. And when I is 4, you are printing 4 stars. The number of stars that are printed depends upon the number of rows. The number of stars printed and the row number is same. So don't you think j should run up to I should run up to the number of rows, and j should run up to I. Why j should run up to I? Because the number of rows and the number of stars printed are to be same, right? I mean, I should run up to rows obviously because it is operating the rows, and j should run up to I because it will print the stars per row. Got it? If you try to write this, here you don't need columns, you just need the rows. Okay, let us delete this. So we say for int I is equal to 0, I less than equal to rows and I plus plus, and inside this you say for j is equal to int j is equal to 1 and j less than equal to I and j plus plus, and then you have curly braces. Inside this you just omit the ln from here and you say star and give a space after that for the neatness, and then you print a new line in the outer loop. And if you then run the program, now it will ask you for the row. Why is it asking for the, oh, we had not removed the scanner, that's why. Okay, even if we give the input for the row like this, 4, you can see this, it is printed like this. So what is happening is, if you debug the code, it will be tricky to understand this one. So if you debug the code, okay, if I give the input of the rows 3, I will give. Why is I 0? I should be 1. Now you have to give the input first. So say row is 3, and now F8 row is 3. Okay, now int I is equal to 1. Now I less than equal to 3, that means row, yes. So it enters the loop, and now j will be 1 and j enters the loop because j, now it will check j less than equal to I, that means j less than equal to 1, yes. So it enters the loop, it prints 1 star, and then it again goes up. After now it increments j by 1, so j will become 2, and 2 less than equal to 1, no, that is why it comes out of the inner loop and it prints a new line, like it goes to a new line, and now I will become 2. Now j will become 1, and now it will print 1 star. Now j will become 2. Now it will check 2 less than equal to 2, yes. So it enters the loop again, it prints another star. J will become 3. Now 3 less than equal to 2, absolutely not. So it will come out of the inner loop. Now it will go to the new line. Now I will become 3. Now j is equal to 1 again. So it prints a new star. Now j is 2. It goes to the loop. It prints another star. Now j will become 3 after incrementing. And 3 less than equal to 3. Yes. So it again enters the loop, prints a star. Now j will become 4 after incrementing. So 4 less than equal to like 3? Absolutely not. So it will come out of the inner loop and it will print a new line. Now I will become 4, but 4 less than equal to row, that means 4 less than equal to 3, no, that is why it comes out of the loop, the outer loop also. Okay, this is how your 3 stars are getting printed. Okay, got it? If you say 5 as well, you can see the pattern is printed. Now there are 2 assignments that I'm giving you for homework. You can practice these using nested loops in your own system. Please analyze how we were analyzing the rows and columns using I and j in this video. Okay, please analyze that. And first assignment is this, you have to print this. Okay, and the second assignment is this, you have to print this. Okay, got it? This is like a inverted right angle triangle, I guess, I don't know. Anyways, these are the 2 programs that you have to do. Got it? Try this in your own system and let me know your answer down below in the comments. Okay, if you have any difficulty solving these problems, you can leave them down below in the comments for me to reply. Okay, that's it for today's video. I'll meet you in the next video with another concept. Till then, keep learning, keep practicing and keep exploring. Thank you and bye bye.